Hi, this is Justin Gollich, and today I will be doing a presentation for CIT260 and going over the game that my partner and I have developed for this semester. So for our project, we did the Desert Escape game, and we split up the work to put this game together um, to present for you today. So first off, I'd like to say that a lot of work has been done within the last few days to get this game going. As you know, you gave us some extra time to get these chapters done, and so a lot of it has been compressed within these last few days. And so we'd have our game working one day, and then we would implement our new class or whatever, and then the whole program wouldn't work anymore. And then it took a lot of um, adjusting basically to get the game going. So it's not perfect, but I think it's good enough for today's presentation. Um, so I'm basically going to go through the rubric to make sure I cover each aspect of the presentation requirements. So first off, we're asked to describe the difference between a static class and a non-static class, and to provide an example. So for our game, we've actually only used static classes. Most of your examples that you gave for your game and videos were only static classes, and we've just used that. And so, but from my understanding, a static class does not require an outside reference. You could reference everything within that class, and it will work. But a non-static class, you do have to have that outside reference in order to implement that specific class. And so, but again, with a non-static class, it's more customizable and won't give you issues down the road. As a static class, if there is an issue, there's a lot more adjustment that needs to be done. So any examples that I gave you here um, in our game here is just going to be a static class, so I won't go into examples there. Which we'll just show you. So like here is a public static class, a list. So which this brings us into our next part, which is the difference between an array list, and an enum. And so an enum is a list that is unchanging. It is always set to be those specific items, variables, whatever it may be. So for example, I'll show you the location type, which is an enum, and we have our levels set here as our list for the enum. The base, desert, shop, alien camp, mountain, pyramid, and so on. So these are unchanging list items. And so an array is very similar to an enum, but it's a fixed list of variables. So let's see here if I can find one, because I just found the array list. Well, just to save time, we'll just go back to the array list. So for this array list here in our program controller on line 196, we created a list of objects, which is our items, and it's going to create a list in an array list. And so these are, an array list is variables that can be changed by the user. So depending on what input the user does, it could change that list and change the aspect of the game, and so on. And that can be constantly adjusted, added or subtracted or whatnot. So, and then let's see here. So for this array list, we have the item, which is food, and it's going to be a new item. We set the name to that item, which is again food. We have we wanted to put like a weight or points for any particular item. And so just, to input something, we put 10 for food, and then it's worth 20, so you can actually, our idea behind it was you could sell it and get more points at the end of the game, and that will determine your final score. And then it will add it to the list, and it will list it under food. So, and then we have the same thing for each item here. So we have boots, money, rubies, diamonds, royal necklace, alien artifact, life, and a time machine schematic. So, and then each of these have different points associated with them. Determining which one you get can determine different aspects of the game. So, and then let's see here. And then we also implemented up here this print inventory list, which actually, let's see here. Yeah, so this is up here, this kind of the same idea for a an array list. And so we have new item, which is boots, the description, boots, the amount in stock, so it requires 15 points to acquire the boots, and then it will add it to the inventory list. And so, each item has the same description, which we go over here, I believe. All right, now it's an inventory list. Oh, here it is. So right here we have a string which gathers the description, pulls the item type and the amount in stock, and then that will determine whether you have enough, and it will add that item to the list. And so, and then we go back here. We created a for statement to basically output if you have enough, what you wanted to get, and then if you have enough stock to be able to put it in the list, and then it will continue from there. So, and then next it asks for how we were catching runtime errors. So, in actuality, I never came across any runtime errors under this. I mean, we had errors within the game, but they were coding errors, not really any runtime errors. But from my understanding, a runtime error would be if basically it printed out a character or something that wasn't legible, or didn't make any sense to the end user. That would be a runtime error. Or if it didn't do anything and got an error within the coding, nothing would run. And so it would just be a blank screen, nothing would happen. So so that's how, if we did run into a runtime error, we would know that that's specific to that, and then we would go in and try to fix that. And then why and when we use a character class or a byte class. We've actually never used a byte class in the game, and I talked to my partner about that. And so we've only used character classes, which only basically take a character from the user. And let's see here if I can find a movement. So right here we have the banner, and then we'll look at the do action here, which is character class, and we're using the switch. And so basically the character would be I, and it would pull this specific action here, which is inspect. It would pull down to this private void down here, and this one's not implemented. All right, let's do a different one. Oh, that's why. Okay. So let's do, say if we wanted to move north, enter N, it would come down here and go to the move north function. Go to the movement controller, determine where it needed to go, and then tell you whether you can move there or not. And so that type of character, that's the type of character class use that we've done throughout our entire game. So we haven't really used the byte class at all. So I assume that would be for possibly saving your game if you were going to leave and then come back, and it would be able to pull the previous information from that previous game and then start you off from where you left off, but we were unable to implement that with our time frame. So let's see here. And then also with, that's kind of the same thing with a character data put into an external file. So I assume that would be with a saved game, which we haven't implemented that yet. So, and then just a demonstration of our game. Like I said, we had our game working perfectly, but with the given time, we just ran out of time, and I think we messed it up with our last assignment that we implemented, and it's not running as smoothly as we'd hope. If we had a little bit more time, we would have been able to get everything done, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead here and we'll run it. So as it comes up with the welcome banner, so welcome to Desert Escape. In this game you will triumph in the future. Survival and success is based upon your ability to make tough decisions, plan ahead, and overcome puzzles. So let's go ahead and put in our name here. So and then it comes up with the main menu. So we could do a new game, resume saved game, options, help menu, exit game. So say if we do the help menu, we could choose different levels, items, about game. Let's take a look at items. So we have different items here, and it will basically give you a description of what the items are. So let's say we want to know about rubies. Oh, rubies isn't working. Let's see. No, those are working. Uh-oh. Like I said, we're running into some issues here. Let's see here. There we go. So on options menu, we have difficulty, depending on how many lives you have. Yeah, this is a little bit of a disaster, I guess, but like I said, it is what it is. So I guess we can't demonstrate that at this moment. So anywho, just keep it under the time frame. We'll leave it at that. And so this is what I have to show you right now. So if you have any questions, let me know, and then we'll go from there. I appreciate the class, and hope you do well. Thanks. Bye.